Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
You know, sister, there are times to speak to you about something that's, blunt in your face. There's a reason, a purpose behind all these things that I do, by the way. It's not just me on a crazy rant, although I can understand how it may appear that way at times. But there's purpose behind it every single time, and I trust that. And there are times to, have something that's maybe a little bit more like practical, and I talk about here in the podcast. But you know what? Sometimes there's also a place to just be in gratitude and in love. It's the past couple weeks, I'd say maybe more like 4 to 6 weeks, have been a little funky for me. They've been funky for me. And for lots of different reasons, lots of shifts happening right now. And it sucks. And I'm not really feeling as much like myself. I'm not necessarily feeling like I'm in a place of real significant power. It's just kind of this like lots of shifting of stuff right now, right? So it's easy for me to get on a bent of like anger and fear and frustration and, And then I have these moments. Like, I'm going to share with you a story about one I had with my son, Tyson, yesterday. And so yesterday I'm driving Tyson to school. And Tyson and I, has a little bit of background if you're into the podcast. We've had a lot of the word issue comes to mind, but we're both really powerful souls, and sometimes we collide. It's just the way it is. And so yesterday I'm talking to Tyson, and we were talking about the importance of the importance of listening to the voice. And I'm sharing something with him, and I like, honestly, it's so funny, right? It's like a day ago, because I shared it in something else recently, and actually could have been the last podcast I recorded. That's how fast time is moving for me right now in my life. It's like, did I record this yesterday? Did I tell this story? Did I do it on a Facebook Live? But what the fuck? I'm gonna talk about it again. But so we're talking about something, and we're stopped at a light, and so I was able to kind of like, I can't look through my rearview mirror when I'm driving and he's in the back, because he's 7.5, so he's in a booster seat, but he's on the other side, so I can't see him through the rearview mirror. So because we're stopped at a light, I turn back and I just kind of look at him as I'm speaking, and he's smiling at me. Now that little smile, that little twinkle in his eyes can mean two things, and it normally means this one: he's about to say something a little naughty. He's had that little mischievous look in his eyes since he was like a couple months old. Like, it's awesome. I love that about him. He likes pranks. He can be kind of sneaky. He knows sometimes when he's been inappropriate, like he understands it, but yet he still does it, And so I thought it was that. And I'm like, what, Tyson? I go, what's that? I go, what are you thinking right now? He's like, and then his look just kind of softens, and he goes, Mommy, I love to see you happy. And of course, like, my heart just melts. I know he's referring to, we've had some rough times over the last couple weeks. Mommy's been yelling, Mommy's been upset, he's been yelling, he's been upset, right? So it was this like beautiful reminder of like why we're all here. I'm going to get really philosophical about this right now. We're all here. We're all here to receive and express and be in love. That's it. Podcast ended at 3:59. There you go. Super short one. No, seriously, we're all here for fucking love. We're all here for love. And, yes, you have your roles in what you do as a mother and what you do as a businesswoman and as a wife and as simply a woman, right? And yes, you have things that you want to create and produce and to do and to discover and to learn and like all that stuff, right? To grow and all the cool sounding words. But really, when it comes down to it, we are here on this earth to give and receive and to be in love. And I think it's so easy right now in our world when things are so angry. They're so in a place of fear. Like, I was actually going to record this podcast about something different, so maybe I'll share a piece of the story, but do you know who Danielle Laporte is, sister? Danielle Laporte, she's an author, speaker, like, badass fucking woman. If you haven't heard of her, just go to daniellelaporte.com. I've read all of her books from Firestarter to Desire Map. Her most recent one, The White Hot Truth, is like my favorite. It's just a beautiful book. She's a brilliant writer. She's just amazing. So she came out with a program which is called Lighter, like L-I-G-H-T-E-R. And it is like a year-long program of like things that you do. And it's what we call in the online business a continuity program, meaning it's like an ongoing, you pay a monthly thing. And, she is just a beautiful soul. She has, if you've been following her for a while and anything about her, she is who she is. And she's very pure in her intentions. And she does not take her life lightly. And she's just amazing. She's amazing. Awesome. And she had an image, which I haven't seen, but my friend Jill was telling me about it, that I guess was supposed to be like people of different color and body parts entwined, but apparently Jill said it was a bad graphics call on that one because it's inappropriate in whatever way. I don't know. I'm going to Google it later and take a look at the image. It's irrelevant. So she got blasted by the black community, like blasted. Women specifically, and calling her a racist and white privilege and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Like, she's a really nice, cool ass Canadian girl. Like that. She's not racist in the least. And then Jill was kind of telling me more stuff, and then it's just like, it's insane. I'm not going to even go on the story because it's like, I just don't even want to put any energy to insane. But the reason why I bring this up is this, and I was just like, God, Jill, we were voxering back and forth, and she's like, it's just like, it's victim, right? It's like, they've just like, it's a witch hunt, and it doesn't even make any sense, because it's not who Danielle Laporte. She's not a racist. She made a bad call on an image, and I guess so you can go to her website, again, I haven't checked it out yet, but I guess she's put it kind of an apology of like, hey, it was wrong to put that image, and like, didn't see it, didn't mean for it to be anything at all. I mean, she is the most like, accepting, loving, like no racism, no gender stuff, no like sexual orientation stuff, like at all. Like she's, yeah. And so she apologized, but yet the witch hunt continues. Like it seems like Jill's kind of been following this story for a little bit. It doesn't matter what she says, everyone's attacking her. And it's really unfortunate. And we're kind of voxing back and forth, and I was like, man, and Jill was talking about just the source of victim, right? Like, there's no way to ever move forward. Listen, people can have been wronged in our society, certain groups of people. You can have been wronged as a woman, like within your marriage, and when you were growing up as a child, maybe you were molested, or you were assaulted in some other way, or you were raped, or you were abused verbally, emotionally. Like, there's lots of things that can happen to us, and there comes a point in our life where there's that fork in the road, right? The proverbial fork in the road. Do I choose down the path of victim and identify myself as that person? Or do I choose to rise from this? Not ignoring, by the way, what's happened, not excusing people that might have like done really bad things to me, but deciding to rise in spite of it, deciding to use that situation as fuel to become more of who you're supposed to be. And, the attacks that she's getting, it's people who are stuck on the label of like victim. And again, fortunately, kind of having a lynch mob with this woman who like deserves is not who a lot of people are saying that she is. And we've moved so far away from love at this point in our society, and it's upsetting, right? Upsetting. We're hearing all sorts of men that are doing awful shit to women. That's stuff that's coming to the surface, and it's not to say that it's not okay to talk about it. It should be talked about, right? It's like it reduces the charge when we bring these issues to light, and that's a beautiful thing. But it's one thing to say, I'm going to talk about it, or we're going to hold people accountable, and then it's others to be in that state, right? But, listen, if you live in the land of social media, if you listen to the news, which, let's just fucking be honest, it's fake news, it's fucking propaganda. You were just a puppet in this world of people, you wanting us to be in this place of fear. Because love is all powerful. Love changes things. Love creates movements. Hate doesn't. Fear doesn't. You might disagree with that. So what is it? How about wars? And how about, okay, but like, that's not a movement. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on you define movement, right? But we have so far shifted from who I think that we are as our essence as human beings. So like, what do we do about this, right? From all this other stuff I talked about, and like school shootings and just shootings. And in Canada, there was like 15 kids killed in a freak bus accident, hockey team, like just destroyed the nation. And I mean, all these there's just a lot of stuff right now. What do we do, right? What do you do? I think there's really only one thing that you can do. Yes, you can petition. Yes, you can protest. Yes, you could write about this stuff. And you can do all that. And I think that has a place. But then what? Then what? I think you just really have to look at, what can I do as one person, as one woman, who, by the way, affects a lot more people than you understand, I believe, sister. Because when you do that whole thing of, well, it's just me. No, it's not just you. It's you who impacts everybody else, and the ripple effect of all of that. It's you impacting your children and how they're growing up to be as human beings. It's you impacting who you are in your marriage and how you're showing your children how marriage can be and what you can create with your husband synergistically in your relationship together. It's not just you. You, sister, are powerful. And this is not to brush under the carpet bad shit that's happening in the world. But the further that we stay away from love, the more fucked our world is going to be. That's what I believe to be true. The further that we stay away from love, the more that we'll stay in this place of victim and anger and fear and all of that. So here's your more tip for today, sister. What do you need to do to be more in love? To be in a state, let me rephrase that, to be in a state of love, right? Maybe it's a reminder about things. Maybe it's you decide that you're not going to go on to Facebook for a little period of time, a little bit of a break, or you limit it. Maybe you don't read the news anymore. Maybe you do something that puts you in a loving state, whatever that is. There just simply needs to be more of this. I just know this in my heart. And you have the ability in a place of love to be a powerful force that, again, I don't think you really understand. I don't think any of us really understand like how powerful that is. And I think that's why the forces that be that are not in that place are so threatened by it and want to do things that will manipulate and move people in a certain direction, because love is powerful, the most powerful. And I don't believe this is a woo-woo kind of pie in the sky thing. I really believe this to be true. Love is a powerful force. So I want you to journal about this. What do I need to, at the top of the, let's do this. At the top of the page, sister, write this. This is how I can be more in a state of love each day. And start writing and see what really comes up for you. And then do those things. Insight's cool, but action behind it, that's what you want. That's the juicy stuff right there. So, sister, a couple things before we finish up. Number one, make sure to subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter. I'm going to send you the More For Action Guide, how to start your day in power, and 2 very amazing trainings on how to remember who you are, how to drop your stories and create new ones. So that's over at drkarenosborn.com/action guide. And that way you can also get VIP access to everything Women Wanting More, including all the podcast notes, by the way. Number 2, I want you to head over to shop.womanwantingmore.com. That is the new Women Wanting More store where you can wear who you are. Right now I'm wearing the Queen t-shirt because, yes, I'm a queen and so are you. And you can see other t-shirts, tanks, beanies, hoodies, and mugs for you to wear who you are. That what you wear on the outside is reflective of who you are on the inside. That's at shop.womanwantingmore.com. Enter in the discount code podcast at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your entire order, and shipping is on me. And lastly, I want you to make sure to join the sisterhood. This is a place for you to be around other powerful women who are like you, because I know that you feel all alone, that nobody thinks like you. Some of you think this conversation is just for you and I, and it is in this moment. But I want you to know there are other women that are like you, that want to be more in a state of love like you do too, sister. And it's important that we find each other when we stay in that tribe together. So that's over at the Sisterhood. This is a group coaching program that is able to do this for everybody on a monthly basis. And we do weekly trainings inside the Sisterhood. So that's over at drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. And you can sign up for the first 7 days for just $1. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.